welcome to episode 55 of the Spearhead Sundays podcast. Who made that beat? That's fucking sick. Did that get your head bopping? Huh? Were you bumping and grooving? Did that make you start grinding up against some stranger on a train? If any ladies listening to this, huh? Did that get those hips moving? Hey? Any dudes out there, did that make you want to buy a diamond chain and go bankrupt? But, you know, maybe rent a Lamborghini and drive around in a film clip and tell everybody that you got heaps of money. And then fucking 2 months later, after your album drops, you sunk 30 grand into it. You don't make anything back, huh? Is that how it made you feel? Good. I made that beat. I'm fucking happy with it. Hey, I'm very excited. That's with an upcoming project. That's going to be my first... Oh, can I say it? Fuck it. It's going to be my first collaboration with another rap artist, like a proper rap artist. I feel like I'm finally good enough as a beat maker and a rapper. I still feel weird calling myself a rapper. I suppose, you know, I rap. I'm definitely a comedian who, you know what? I'm a comedian who raps on the side. That's what I am. I feel comfortable calling myself a comedian because I've done that. Although I suppose in my first year I felt weird calling myself a comedian. I only feel comfortable now telling, like when a stranger goes, "Oh, what do you do, man?" I say comedian, and I believe it. Because when I first started saying, "Oh, I'm a comedian," I didn't even believe me when I said it. I would go, some guy would come up to me like, "Oh, hey, buddy, what's your name?" I'm Lewis. "Oh, nice to meet you, man. Hey, so what do you do?" And then I would go, "Oh, I'm a comedian." And then my brain would go, "No, you're not. You got a job, cunt. You work in a call center. You're a fucking failure. You're useless. You're not a comedian. What did you eat for lunch? Baked beans? Yeah, you're a fucking peasant." And I would just have to deal with that. But now I'm comfortable saying that I'm a comedian because I don't have a call center job anymore. I mean, I still eat baked beans for lunch every fucking day. I'm no high roller, but I feel confident now in telling people that I'm a comedian. I think that's the first time I've ever referred to myself as a rapper, and it doesn't feel right. Like, I said, you guys, I'm pretty confident as a beat maker and a rapper, and then my brain went, "You're not a rapper? How many hoes do you have? You've got a girlfriend, you fucking loser. Huh? Well, you've put out 6 songs. You're not a rapper. It's barely even a hobby." So, you know, I'm getting off to a good start. I'm sorry that the podcast is late, by the way, guys. It's currently Sunday, 5:41 p.m., so I should finish recording this at 6:45 p.m., and then I'll upload it. So it should be on your phones by 7 or 7:30. But you know what? I bet you're listening to this and it's fucking 3 days after that because something will go wrong. I'm waiting for the thing to go wrong, guys, because as I've been saying, my hot streak, everything's going way too well, and this very rarely happens. Like, the last time I was going this well, my entire tour was almost cancelled because some cunt complained. So I'm waiting for the catastrophe to happen because everything's just been going so well. I did 3 gigs this week, and I'm working on the final parts of the show, because if you've ever seen me live before, you know that my material gets progressively darker and darker until we get into the I don't know if this is even morally correct to listen to and support this man anymore. Because basically how it goes is I open up the show and I'm like, "Hey, my name's Lewis. I'll tell you a few jokes. Hey, let's go to the hairdresser. Isn't it weird how when you go to the hairdresser, they don't give you what you want? Here's a joke about that." And then 10 minutes later, I'll be like, "Hey, you know when you rape a dog?" and I just lull everybody into a false sense of security, and then I bring out the dark stuff. But the problem with that is I really enjoy saying shit that you shouldn't say. You've heard me say this a million times. My favorite reaction is 70% of the crowd laughing and 30% of the crowd going, "I can't believe he said that. Should I leave?" But then those people will laugh at something else later because no one gives a fuck about I'm yet to have somebody, right? If I do a whole show, I've had one girl come up to me and be like, hey, I just want to let you know you shouldn't joke about cancer because you don't know who's been affected by cancer, and it's a horrible thing watching somebody you love be affected by cancer. And I'm just thinking, and look, I'm not a cunt. If you're gonna, I understand people are not going to understand. I understand that people are not going to like every joke. I mean, even getting offended generally is an involuntary thing. I've been offended by shit, but I haven't then gone up to the comedian and been like, you shouldn't say that because I've had a negative experience with what you're talking about. It's like, dude, where do you think I got the idea for the cancer jokes from? You think I've never known somebody affected by it? My grandma had it. That's where I got the idea from. Fuck off. But, what was I saying? Oh, that's what I was saying. Yeah, so I've had people come to, you can't joke about cancer. But in that same set, before the cancer joke, I was making fun of conjoined twins raping each other. It's like, dude, if you're gonna hate one thing, you gotta hate it all. I've never had somebody go, hey, look, I don't think, you know what I would respect more? Is if somebody came up to me and said, you joked about cancer, you joked about conjoined twins raping each other, you joked about World Vision, you joked about somebody in hospital dying, you're a bad person. I'd be like, yeah, you know what? I agree. You're probably right. But if someone comes up and goes, hey, I like the one about the twins getting raped, I like the one about the guy in hospital, and I love the one about poverty, they were great. They were awesome, but don't do cancer. It's like, okay, so you're an idiot then. All right, so you're cool with everything until I come around to your neighborhood. Reason why I'm talking about this is because the last 3 gigs that I've been doing is I'm down to like the closing jokes of the show. Those are the ones that I need to perfect. They're the best jokes, but they're also the darkest ones. Now, usually, I have, if you see me this year, you're gonna have to sit through like an hour's worth of material, and you'll understand that I'm joking, because that's how you generally write an hour, right? You start off with the light stuff, you ease the audience into it, you establish that, oh, okay, he's a comedian, he's making jokes, we're all friends here, he's not actually serious. That works better than me just starting with horrible shit. I mean, even Jim Jeffries did that when I saw him live, and he's one of the darkest comedians I've seen. He walked out and he did a whole bunch of jokes about pies and sausage rolls. It was silly. There's nothing offensive about that. He swore a couple of times, and those silly jokes were honestly my favorite part of his show. And then 2 hours later, he was joking about cutting a woman open and everyone in the audience raping her. And it was totally fine. Whereas if he reversed it and he started off his show, it was like, g'day guys, thanks for coming out. We should all fuck a woman. I've got a knife. We'll cut her open. Let's do that. And then he ended the show with sausage roll jokes. I don't think it would have gone as well. What am I saying? Oh yeah. So, sorry. I'm in a fucking rambly mood because I'm freaking out. I'm waiting for the catastrophe. I know it's going to happen. It's going to happen at some point. It's on the way. Shit has been going too well for me. So I've been working on the darkest parts of the show. And the problem with that is, most of the gigs that I do are 5-minute spots, 10-minute spots here and there. That's how most comedians in Melbourne work. You do 5 minutes once a week. So I had 3 5-minute gigs. And I just had to cram all of my darkest shit into 5 minutes and open with that. And the audience has no idea who I am. That's another thing that you get if it's your, like, you guys come to my show, you know my humor, right? You listen to the podcast, you fucking watch my videos, you know that you can kind of expect the type of humor that you're going to get. Whereas when I go to an open mic night, there might be a girl that'll get up on stage and just talk about her boyfriend and, you know, fluffy observations and non-offensive stuff, and everyone will be like, oh, what a wholesome comedian, what a nice night we're having, oh, isn't this lovely, darling, oh yes, I wouldn't get offended by that at all, oh, you could see her on Channel 10, maybe she'll do the comedy gala, oh, wonderful jokes. And then I'll get up and be like, hey, Let me tell you about how they used to punish lesbians in the medieval times. That's a new bit I'm working on. I actually finished with that bit. It's good now. You guys will see it at the show. I'm going to stop talking about shows after this, but I did a gig at this bar. It was a Seinfeld themed bar. It was but it was like a George Costanza themed bar. You walk in and every wall was just plastered with photos of George Costanza, quotes from Seinfeld that George has said, all this memorabilia and all these props, all remade props. They're probably not originals, but it's called The George, and it's just George Costanza shit fucking everywhere. So it's actually a pretty cool place to do comedy because the walls are decked with one of the most successful comedy projects in the world. It's really cool. But I was going to go up there and I was going to do all of my darkest shit. So I'm like, fuck, I've only got 5 minutes, so I need to make them laugh with something safe within 30 seconds. And then they'll realize that I'm not about to kill them all and I can do my other shit, right? So I got up and just did a nice little bit of observational comedy about the George Costanza themed bar. This place is really cool. It's like a George Costanza themed bar. This George Costanza quotes like everywhere. You know what I thought coming in here? They're fucking lucky they didn't start up a Kramer themed bar. You guys remember when you call that racist shit? Imagine this is a Kramer bar. They'd either have to close down or update and put a whole bunch of swastikas just on the side. Hopefully I edited that in correctly. Shit, this is an ambitious fucking podcast. You guys know how bad I am at doing this. First, I started off with music. That may or may not have been in there. And then 10 minutes in, I put in a bit from my stand-up. Fuck. If neither of those two things go in, we're fucked. No, I'm going to put it in. I think I've figured it out. What else was I going to talk about? Oh, yeah, I sold out Sydney. That's fucking mental. Thank you to everybody who was booking tickets to the Sydney show. It's sold out. I can't believe it because that's the third time I've come to Sydney and it's the first time I've ever sold out a show there. So thank you very much to everybody who lives in Sydney. It's amazing. And I can't believe it because I was worried that was way too big for me. The first time I came to Sydney, I only sold 70 seats. The second time, I only sold 220, and the third time I was in a 320 seater, and I was like, "Fuck! There's no way I can fill that theater in Sydney." But it's full, and there's like 2 months until the show, so I fucking told you guys. All these people are hitting me up, going, "Oh, it's sold out. I was gonna get tickets." I told you. How many times have I told you, cunts? The shows, the shows are gonna sell it. I hate that shit. It's like. I don't hate the people for doing it. I just hate people missing out. I need to let that go. It's not my fault, is it? It's not my fucking fault if you are unorganized. I always book my tickets in advance. I don't know. I guess people. You know what it is? It's because every fucking artist out there says tickets are selling fast when they're not. They fucking lie. That's the problem. So when I say it, people understandably don't believe it. There are so many fucking people, I'm not going to name names, but there's so many fucking people in the industry that are like, tickets are selling fast, and then I'll go to the show and there's 3 cunts there. It's like, well, I don't know what your definition of fast is. Were those 3 people in the audience, were they running when they bought tickets? Is that what you meant by fast? Do they only run? It's like, fuck, that was a swift transaction. Oh, man. But yeah, you know what? Let's go through every one of my sales, and I'm going to be brutally honest, and I'm going to tell you, is this a good idea? I bet this is a fucking dumb idea. But you know what? Everything I do is a shit idea. Everything that I've done so far, every industry cunt has told me, oh, don't do that. You can't fucking do that. It's wrong. And then it goes well, and I'm like, well, maybe you're wrong. Or you know what? Maybe I've just got dumb luck. All right, so we'll go through my things, and I'll tell you if I think... I'll tell you if they're selling fast, all right? Geelong, that's sold out. Ballarat, that's the fuck all tickets have sold still, okay? So Ballarat happens on March 4th. There's 43 seats gone, so there's 57 left. Oh, I suppose that could sell out. I don't know. I don't have... Oh, actually, if there's like 3 weeks left... Okay, I reckon Ballarat might sell out, but I also don't really know. Hobart, fuck all tickets have sold. That's the one there's 100, I've sold 35, and it's Hobart. Now, that one is almost definitely going to be a failure. Well, not a failure. I just don't think it's going to be full. Although, maybe I've never been to Hobart before. I remember speaking to people in Tassie, and I think you guys are just lazy bookers because nobody sells out when they come to Tasmania. There is no urgency to book tickets. It's basically what other Tassie locals have told me. Is like, yeah, whenever anybody comes here, they never sell out, so there's no reason to buy tickets in the first week. So, I don't know. Maybe that's just the culture of Hobart, or I'm just that venture is a failure. Who knows? Newcastle sold out. The second show in Newcastle, that one is selling quick. That one's going to sell out too. Adelaide. Adelaide's doing all right. Adelaide's half full. That one's going to sell out. Okay. Melbourne, all the Melbourne shows are going to sell out, definitely. Do not wait if you're in Melbourne. That's by far my biggest one. They're definitely going to fill out. Brisbane, that's definitely going to fill out. Sydney, that one's sold out. And then Perth is almost full. Gold Coast, I think Gold Coast, you've probably got a lot of time. And then Canberra actually surprised me. That one's definitely selling quick. That really surprised me. So, that was fucking... Every city just about is selling quickly, but there are a couple of them that are just I'm terrified about. But I like doing small shows. I don't know. All right, look, I need to stop talking about my shows, but you know what the thing is? It's all I've been doing with my life. I don't do anything else with my life. All I've been doing is doing shows, getting ready for the tour, and then promoting the tour. I had some cunt fucking hit me up when I was talking about Sydney selling out on my Snapchat. Right, yesterday, this morning, some cunt, he hits me up. What does he say? We've got the fucking Snapchat conversation. This is just one. This is the cunt of the week, guys. Okay, some guy goes, while I was talking about my shows, he replies to me and says, "It's getting really fucking annoying, cunt. You are becoming what you fight against." He was talking in regards to me promoting shows, saying that I'm selling out, I guess. And I said, when have I ever fought against somebody promoting a show? It's like, how do you want me to sell my tickets, huh? I've got no fucking agent. I've got no manager. I'm blacklisted from TV and radio. How would you prefer me to sell my tickets, huh? You guys are the only people that I talk to in that I want to come to the shows. What do you want me to do? You want me to buy an ad in the Herald Sun? Huh? Do you want me to purchase a full-page spread in Beat magazine? You know, that fucking thing that nobody reads but is in every cafe ever in those hipster areas. Beat magazine's a fucking scam, by the way. If you guys read that, if you're Australian, it's one of those magazines that pretends to be a cultured music magazine, but every single article in there, almost every single article in there, I don't want to get sued, I don't know for sure, but almost every single article in there is bought and paid for by the artist that they're writing about. You'll notice in Beat magazine, you will never see a negative article because every interview, every album review, every show review is bought and paid for. During the Melbourne Comedy Festival, I'm going to get in trouble for this. I don't give a fuck. Beat magazine sends an email to every comedian that signed up to the Melbourne Comedy Festival, and they go, "Hey, would you like to be interviewed by Beat magazine?" And the first time this happened to me, I was like, yeah, sure, I'd love to get interviewed by Beat magazine. That's cool. I know they're a big magazine. And then they respond to me and they goes, awesome, we'd love to interview. This is going to be great. This is going to be awesome. This is the interview. We're going to ask you these questions. You're going to be this big, and the article's going to be here, and it's going to be distributed all across Australia. I'm like, oh, cool. And then they send another email and they go, oh, awesome. We're glad to have you on board. It costs $500. That's not a fucking interview. That's an ad. Don't fucking send me an email asking for an interview and then tell me I gotta pay for it, you fucking... If I wanted to get in your shit magazine, I would trick one of your shitty journalists into writing a shitty article about me. It's just fucking bullshit, all of this stuff. It's like... So yeah, you know what? I would say the majority of fucking... even the front cover. I remember I emailed Beat Magazine. I had no intention of paying for it. I just wanted to see how much they would charge, right? I'm gonna... You know what? Fuck it. I don't give a fuck. Sue me. I got no money. All right, let's bring up my emails. I know you guys are laughing. Thinking, oh shit, what's Lewis doing now? They call me the bridge burner. All right, I'm just loading up my emails now. Beat Magazine. Let me have a look here. Here we go. All right, so I sent them, and I sent them an email. I was like, hey there, I understand Beat Magazine offers full-page ads, and I know the rates, but I'm having trouble finding rates for a full-page front cover placement. Is this something Beat Magazine offers, or is the front cover curated? If this is an option, I would love to hear from you with your rates, as we're looking to promote an upcoming show for our artist, Lewis Spears. Thanks, Sarah. So I'm pretending to be Sarah. And then they get back to me, they go, hey, Sarah, thanks for getting in touch. We don't really sell our covers as our covers. The content has to be a right fix for us, and they're often booked out many months in advance. If we're keen on the content... So they just said, all right, so they just said, hey, we don't sell our front covers. They're booked out many months in advance. The covers are not for sale. And then they said, if we're keen on the content, there's a minimum spend on advertising around the $2,000 mark in most cases. It's like, dude, don't tell me you don't sell your front cover and then you go, but if you spend $2,000 in advertising, we'll put you there. It's like, fuck off. So yeah, if you see anybody on the front cover of Beat Magazine, just know they paid $2,000 to fucking get there. It's all bullshit. Just about all the magazines have to do that, and that's because print media is fucking dying. It's dead. They have to charge for interviews. All of the Australian ones, anyway. I think the American ones are a little bit better because they get away with it. But you know for sure, if you hit up Time magazine and you were like, "Hey, I want to give you $10,000 to write an article about us," they'd 100% fucking do it. It's all bullshit, and that's why I kind of steer away from that shit, because it's not genuine. And that's why I promote my shows on my social media, because you guys know that it's coming from me, right? Instead of me sharing a link to an interview that I paid for, and then the interviewer or the reviewer goes, "This was the best show that I've ever seen in my life," and then you have no idea that I paid that reviewer $1,000 to say that. It's all fucking horseshit. And that's why I've never been reviewed, because I don't invite them either. I don't invite the media. It's like, it's all fucking bullshit, because I would rather hear the opinion from you guys, the guys who want to come to the shows, rather than some fucking reporter who is literally paid to be there. He got a free ticket because he told me that he works for the Herald Sun. And then after my show, he's going to go and see 3 other shows, and he's watching the whole thing with a fucking notepad in his hand. Like, that's not a genuine experience. That's not a real person. I would much rather hear from, like, a collective consensus from hundreds of people who came to the show because they wanted to, not because it's their fucking job. That's what I would much rather hear from. So that's why I don't invite reviewers or any of that shit. And I had the Melbourne Comedy Festival yelled at me because they're like, "Lewis, you have to tell us which one of your nights is your media night. You have to tell us which one you're going to invite journalists to, because we have to give away free tickets to journalists." So I was like, yeah, sure. If the journalists want to come, they can come to this night. And that's the one that I know is going to be sold out. It's like, so they'll hit me up and be like, "Oh, hey, Lewis, we hear that your media night is April 7th. And we would love to come. We're from the Herald Sun. We'll give you a review." And then I can email them back and go, "Sorry, cunt, sold out. No room for fuckheads." Go take your notepad and shove it up your asshole. Write a review about that, you fucking nerd. Who listens to reviewers anyway? Has anybody actually read a review and gone, "Oh, fuck, I agree with that person. I'm not going to see that movie. I'm going to see that movie"? Nobody reads reviews anymore. We all use that fucking IMDb shit which is exactly what I was talking about, a collective consensus from actual people, regular humans that went and saw the movie, and then they went and they clicked, 3.5 stars on fucking IMDb. And then all of a sudden, this journalist who... What is a reviewer, right? How did they get that job? Hi, I'm really good at giving my opinion on things. So? Why the fuck should I listen to you, cunt? Did you study that, huh? Did you go to journalism for 4 years so you could watch me on stage and then write, didn't like it, wasn't good, not a fan, too offensive? Fuck off. Go get a real job, huh? Why don't you go work for Beat Magazine and I'll pay you $500. You can give me 10 out of 10 stars, you parasite. Oh, I'm angry. Huh? You know what? I've never even had a negative review, and I hate them because I know it's coming. This is what I'm going to do. I've already planned. Maybe that's the catastrophe that I'm waiting for. I'm going to get someone from the fucking Herald Sun. He's going to give me 1 star and try and ruin my career. You know what? This is why I don't trust reviewers, because some woman went to Jim Jeffries and they gave him 1 star. That cunt is the best comedian to come out of Australia. One of. I can't say that definitively, but I think the collective, he's definitely the most successful. You can't become that successful in comedy without being fucking hilarious or stealing jokes. Like, there's only 2, and if you steal jokes, you get caught, right? Jim Jeffries is definitely not a 1-star comic. I'm of the consensus that you can't give somebody 1 star unless they're pissed. Like, 1 star is... Like, there was nothing funny about it. There were no redeeming qualities about the show. There was absolutely nothing. It was barely even comedy. Like, I feel like if they get on stage and they tell jokes for an hour, you can't give them 1 star. 1 star to me, that's like, I would never... I don't think I could ever rate a girl less than a 3. If you're under a 3, you're a Burns victim. You were born fucked up. Do you know what I mean? Like, no human who is of sound body and mind can be less than a 3. And that to me is the same way as no comedian who gets on stage for an hour can get 1 star, right? 1 star is if you get on stage and then you get off after 10 minutes. When you've promised an hour. Sure, that's a 1 star. 1 star is if you show up and you're off your face and no one can understand you. Sure, that's a 1 star. 1 star is if you get up on stage and you do what fucking Kramer did. Yeah, and then the whole audience walks out. Sure, I'll give you that, right? That's the only time you get a 1 star is if you do your hour and then 40 minutes into it, the whole crowd walks out and collectively decides this guy is a racist. So, I think all reviewers are bullshit. It's just some cunt getting paid to give his opinion. Like, who decided that you have an opinion worth listening to? Your boss? No. Fuck off. And the way that media is going now, the only reviews... People don't want to read good reviews. A good review does not get clicks, right? When old media was around, print media... Everyone would buy the Herald Sun and then they would read the articles and, well, Herald Sun's a bad example. They'd read The Age and they'd read it and then it'd be like, oh, this is interesting. I'm learning about politics. And then in the back, they'd have the art section and they would have a reviewer giving their honest opinion. You'd be like, oh, yeah, cool. That's something to keep in mind. Whereas now with clickbait and online stuff, the only reviews that are going to get clicks and make money are the ones that are, this person is a sexist, this person is a racist, this person hates the Jews. Those are the only ones that are going to get clicks. So those are the types of reviews that by necessity will only get published. Because if you write a fair, balanced review of a comedian's show, no one gives a fuck, right? No one's going to click that shit. But if you write a review calling them a sexist and a racist and you try and end their career, everyone's going to read that, including their fans who disagree with you. That's the future of journalism. Why was I talking about this? This is one of those podcasts where, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I'm a sellout, right? I'm a fucking sellout. Where was I going, right? Yeah, that's why I promote my shows to you guys, because you guys are fucking real people, and I'm also a real person. I don't want to go through some other avenue. What do you want me to do? You want me to buy a billboard, show it to fucking 100,000 cunts driving past in their car? They'll look at it for half a second and forget about it later because they'll see another billboard that has tits in it. Is that how you would like me to advertise my shows, mate? What else did he say? We're up to the first fucking message, and I read the first message, and then 10 minutes later, we're going to read the second one. See, cunt of the week is not a good segment for my mental health. It just makes me angry, all right? So I said, yeah. So he goes, your promo's getting annoying, cunt. You're becoming what you fight against. And then I said, when have I ever fought against somebody promoting a show? Then he said, I went to your last show, and it was grouse. You're a funny cunt, but 40 snaps a day talking about your show makes me not want to go. As if me saying, come to my show, I think it's good, on Snapchat is going to affect the fucking content of the show. It's like, you saw me last year, mate. I was good. And because I made fucking 5 Snapchats talking about how I sold out a show in a state that I've never sold out a show before in, because I'm excited about it, that makes you go, oh, he's fucking sold out, man. He's all about the money. I don't give a fuck about money. I just think it's cool that I sold out my first theatre. That's my first theatre. That's an actual theatre that I've sold out. And it's in Sydney, which I've never sold out a show before. I was excited. If you're expecting quality content on Snapchat, you're disabled. That's all I'm saying. I'll be hilarious on YouTube. I'll be amazing on stage. I'll be mildly amusing on Twitter. I'll post some kind of cool photos on Instagram. But if you're coming to Snapchat to see some highbrow social commentary from your favorite comedian, Mr. Lewis Spears, you can fucking unfollow me, because the only shit I do on there is talk about what I did that day. And do you know what I do every day? Nothing! So I hate Snapchat because people, I don't know. Because you know what it is? Every now and then, on Snapchat, I'm hilarious. When I do my Airbnb tours, I think they're really fucking funny. Or if I go on a rant about something, they're really fucking funny. But if I come up with a genuinely funny idea, I don't put it on Snapchat. I'll save it for YouTube, I'll save it for a Photoshop picture, or I'll save it for the stage. If I come up with anything mildly amusing, my last priority is fucking Snapchat. But every now and then I put out something that's really hilarious, and then people expect that every fucking day. If I posted on anything every day, they would suck. If this podcast was every single day, it'd be shit. You would hate it. I have to work an entire week. You know what I do for this podcast? I live my life, and then I write down a thing that happened. A couple of weeks ago, I was like, I went to St Kilda Fest, and I was too tall for the rides. Write that down. Then I'll talk about it in the next thing. So, look. I was about to fucking ruin his day, but then he told me that he had seen me before, and I was like, fuck, I can't be a cunt. He's seen me before, he thinks I'm funny. He just has a problem with how I'm advertising my show. I think a lot of people don't understand what sellout means, really. I suppose that's quite an interesting issue, because to me, right, if you sell out, people who have sold out are somebody like, who's a good example of a sellout? Like, I would say Kurt Coleman is not a sellout, right? Because that guy, from day one, his entire persona was about being self-absorbed and in love with himself and how pretty he was. And then he got swooped up by the mainstream media, and he's basically become one of those mainstream camp gay guys, and he's making money out of it. He's been on radio and TV, and all he does is talk about how pretty he is and celebrity gossip. That, to me, is not selling out, because he was doing that shit from day one. But a lot of people are like, oh, he's doing it on Channel 7. He's sold out. No, he hasn't. He's just earning money from it now. He was doing that shit anyway. And I think the only time that you would sell out, right, is if you completely go back on what you used to stand for. And everybody changes over time. I'm talking like a massive backflip. Like if somebody was like, I don't know. If someone was like, what's an example? If somebody goes, oil tankers are destroying planet Earth. They're destroying planet Earth and we need to take oil tankers out of the sea. And then 6 months later, an oil tanker goes, hey, we'll pay you $1 million to do an ad for the oil tankers. And then that person goes, fuck yeah, $1 million. And then does a TV ad about how good oil tankers are. That to me is selling out because that's betraying one of your core and public beliefs for money, right? That's selling out. Whereas I've never done that. And I think it has to come from an external source as well. I think that's an important thing to classify somebody as sold out. The money has to come from another party. Because very rarely do you ever have to change what you are unless unless somebody else is paying you to do it. So me selling out a show and being excited about it, that doesn't mean that I've fucking sold out and become all about the money, because I've been trying to do that shit since I started stand-up. Of course. Why would I not want to do the biggest shows ever and tour all around? And for me, it's not about selling tickets and making money. It's about having the audience there. If you were a comedian, you would understand that you very, very rarely get an audience of more than 50 people. So to have a theater full of 323 cunts in a state that I don't live in, of course I'm going to be fucking posting about that on Snapchat because I'm excited about it, because that's my dream. And then for this cunt to be like, oh, you've sold out, man. It's like, dude, the money is coming from you and people like you. And I'm not even chasing that. I didn't give a fuck about the money. I wasn't looking at the revenue counter go up. I was looking at the ticket sales go up. Not the ticket sales, the attendance record. Because I wanted bums in seats, because I want to do the biggest and the best shows I can. It's like, fuck off, mate. And another thing that really shits me is I've done this shit all independent. I don't even have an agent or a manager. I'm doing this with my money. It's all self-funded. If this fucks up, I'll be homeless. Like, that's how much of my own self I've put into this fucking tour. It's like, maybe Cunt of the Week is a bad idea. It's really ruined my day. Both weeks in a row. It's really brought the mood down. And all of my personal income that I've put into this tour comes directly from you guys who support me and listen to my shit. So it's, I don't know, I guess that's one thing that does frustrate me, is when somebody says sell out, not because someone has changed, but because they're doing well and they're excited about it. That's what really shits me. It'd be like if a YouTuber goes from 100,000 to 1 million subscribers, nothing about their content has changed. But like, inevitably there are always a big group of people like, oh, he's sold out now, he's changed. And when really the only thing that has changed about that person is their equipment got upgraded and more people are watching their shit, and now that person is not their secret, oh, have you ever heard of this guy? He's fucking great. Nobody else has heard of him. He's underrated. I think there's this obsession with underrated and undiscovered people that none of those people want to be underrated. It's not I get a lot of people telling me, oh, you're so underrated, man. You're underrated. And I appreciate that, because that means that you like me more than... That means, to me, if you go, man, you're so underrated, that means you want me to be rated by most other people. But you see this happen. It hasn't happened to me because I'm not big, right? But you see this happen with so many other YouTubers or musicians or whatever, where everyone goes, man, you're so underground. I fucking love it. You're so underrated, bro. You're so good. The people need to know how good you are. You're so underrated. And then they do that fucking hit song, or they do that viral video, and all of a sudden they've got 1 million subs or 100,000 album sales. And then those same people that were saying, you're so underrated, man, they completely flip and go, oh, he's sold out now. It's like, no, now he's just not underrated anymore. The only thing that has changed about that person is the size of their audience. And I don't know, I suppose, yeah, when people tell me that I'm underrated, I appreciate it, and that's a compliment. But I don't want to be underrated. I want to be fucking huge. That's my goal. I've said that from the start. That's where I want to be. And I'm not going to compromise my message to become huge. I want to be massive doing what I'm doing, but I want to get better at it. I don't know. I think it just shits me. So I got back to this cunt. I got to get up again. I'm just going to read the conversation that we have. All right, I'm getting up. Ooh, I've been sent a video by somebody else. Should I open it? Oh, it's going to suck. I never open videos because they're always somebody drunk screaming or somebody hitting a bong. I'll open this one, and you can see how bad my snaps are. Oh, that's a naked woman licking her own nipple. Do you want to play with me later? Who the fuck is that? See, dude, if I did that, you can't, she's not doing anything. You can't fucking, I don't know who that is. That's fucking the strangest shit. Someone just sending you a naked, the confidence you would have to send a stranger, not just a nude selfie, but a video of you licking your own tit. Just tell me that you like my YouTube videos. I don't need a... I would appreciate a compliment. It's like, dude, if I sent an unsolicited... If I sent... Who's a female YouTuber? Hey, I'm B, right? 500,000 subscribers she has. If I just followed her on Snapchat and I sent her a video of me licking my own nutsack out of the blue, what do you think she would do? She'd call the fucking police. But for some reason, it's a chick, so I'm going to be like, oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. What if I was at a cafe? Huh? What if I was in a library? That's why I don't open the fucking videos, because it's either somebody ripping a bong or somebody licking their own tit. The confidence of that person. Good on it, right? It was she had a nice body as well, but you know what? Even then, that takes a lot of balls. To be like, you know what I'm going to do today? I'm going to send a video of myself licking my own tit to a stranger. Good on it, man. She's gonna change the world. With confidence like that, you know she's going to be up there, right? I'll see her on billboards. I'm like, fuck, I recognize that tit. Anyway, right. The other things that I was being sent. Well, where's this cunt? All right, so he goes, yeah, I went to your last show, it was funny, but you've sold out. So I was just like, it works, so I don't know what to tell you. I try to break promo up with funny shit, but the snaps make a huge difference, so it needs to be done. End of the day, promo doesn't affect the content of the show. I only do this for 1 month a year, so if it's too much, just follow my content elsewhere. If you don't like it, fuck off, just watch my other shit. That's what shits me as well, all these people complaining about show promo, is the thing is, I don't particularly, well, I suppose I do want to promote my shows, but it's hard to find that balance between promo and putting out funny shit, because on one side, I would love to just announce a show and have it sold out the day that I announce it, but it doesn't work like that. You have to promote the show, and me talking about shows on Snapchat works. The only reason Sydney sold out, there was like 20 seats left, and the only reason those 20 seats sold out was because I talked about how there was only 20 seats left, and it was pissing me off that it was really close to being sold out, but they weren't moving. And I thought that was a funny and honest way to promote the show, but all these people are like, oh, you sold out, man. It's like, dude, I'm not doing it for money. I'm doing it. This is why I want the Sydney show to sell out, because then, right, now that it's sold out, I'm probably going to announce another one and more people can come. Because the moment that it's sold out, all of the people that were waiting, because it's still 2 months away, a lot of people are like, I don't even know if I'm going to be free then. So now that main one is sold out, I can probably announce a new one, a new smaller one, and more people can come, and I can do my fucking show again. That's really why I was fucking promoting that shit, because otherwise I would have been like, oh, there's only 20 seats left, I'll just leave it, it'll definitely sell out. It would have sold out the week before the show, and then I would not have announced another one. I don't know. I don't do this shit for money. I do this shit so that I want enough money so that I don't have to have a job, and I just like performing. That's why I do this shit. Money's just a fucking bonus. And you know what? If I ever sell out, I'll probably be honest with you. You can't know me. I'll be honest with you. I'll be like, yeah, look, if I sell out, I'll be like, look, I don't really want to do an album with 4 other handsome boys, but Sony offered me $3 million, so I'm going to take it. You know what? And don't fucking shit me. You cunts would take that. If Sony came to me and was like, hey, Lewis, we're going to give you $3 million and we want you to do an album, 100% I'd take that deal, because you know what? I would take them $3 million. I would be a sellout for 2 years, and then and then in 3 years after that, I would move past that. And it would be a forgotten note in my Wikipedia entry. But I would have $3 million. 100% I'd take that deal. And you would too. You'd sell out for $3 million. Fucking oath you would. I'd be on Play School for $1 million. I don't give a fuck. I would end, if someone was like, hey, Lewis, end this podcast for $1 million. Absolutely. Done. Done deal. Wouldn't even think twice about it. I'm like, awesome, $1 million. And I don't have to do this podcast anymore. No, I like doing this shit. All right, so we get into the worst part of the podcast, miscellaneous bit at the end. Let's do that. Was there anything else that I wanted to talk about today? No, that's about it. Just that my tour starts in 2 weeks. I don't know. On one hand, I'm like, I probably should talk about the shows less, but on the other hand, I'm like, that's what's happening in my life. That's the only thing happening in my life. If I stop talking about the shows, So I woke up today and I had breakfast and that's all that happened. That's going to be the potty. All right, so give me a second. I'll get the question up. We probably only have time for 1, maybe 2, and we'll get this over with. All right, 1 sec. I'll be back. All right, I'm back. The magic of pausing recording feels like fucking time travel. For me, that took ages. For you, it took not even half a second. All right, so this is a good one. I haven't read it yet. This is an unopened email. This is a freshie. But the subject line was too good. I don't know. I hope this is good. I might have to cut it out. But here we go. My girl cheated. I dumped her. And I feel awful. Nah, fuck. Whatever this email says, it's going to be good. With a subject like that, it's going to be fucking good. This is why you got to summarize your emails in the subject line, guys. Because I clickbait me, all right? If you lie and it's not what your subject line is, it's just not going to get read on the podcast. But I am going to fucking read it. All right. If you want to send a question to the podcast, the email is podcast@loosespears.com. Summarize it in the subject line. I'll get around to it. Don't harass me about it, because I get heaps every day. But I will get around to reading your fucking email. All right. This comes from Michael. Hey, Lou, I'm going to jump right into this. Also, I'm dyslexic as fuck, so don't yell at me. Don't worry, mate, I can't fucking read. Anyway, I'm an 18-year-old boy, and I started dating this girl on New Year's, and it started off okay, but 2 weeks in, I was at a party with her, and she disappeared for like 10 minutes. Yeah, that's a fucking warning sign. If you're at a party, and your girlfriend disappears for 10 minutes, and you don't know where she is, she's in an alleyway, she's sucking cock, all right? What a generalization. But you know what? I've seen it happen. It's happened to me, right? So you take my anecdotal evidence and you take that on board, internalize it, and treat it as a fact, all right? Because that's how the world works. All right. She disappeared for like 10 minutes. I didn't think much of it, but then I saw her friends dragging her inside, and they told me she was making out with some dude. Oh, man, that's awesome. You've got some good friends, dude. That's great. Oh, it was her friends. Oh, she's got some bad friends. Okay, so she has some bad friends. All right. So her friends, so she was kissing some guy and her friends told you that. All right. I was pissed and I went home early. Good move, right? That's what you should do. I talked to her the next day and basically told her I didn't want to see her anymore because she was a psycho. Oh, dude, that's exactly what you should have done. You left the party straight after she cheated on you, and then you dumped her. What's the issue? I told her I didn't want to see her anymore because she was a psycho. Yeah, you are dyslexic, mate. There is not... This whole email, there's a full stop at the end. This entire email is a sentence. Fucking hell. Dude, you can't... Just because you're dyslexic doesn't mean you can't press the fucking enter bar on your keyboard. I've lost where I am. Use paragraphs, you dumb cunt. Where are we? Alright, I told her I didn't want to see her anymore because she was a psycho. I'm going to highlight this bit so I don't lose it. Because she was a psycho. Later in the middle of the night, I get a call from her saying that she's overdosing on pills. Ah, fucking hell. 18-year-old girls. I told her that she needs to go to a hospital. You're a mad cunt. Honey, I'm trying to kill myself. Don't call me. Go to a fucking hospital. See you later. That's great. You're a legend, mate. I told her she needs to go to a hospital, and she said she wouldn't go unless I gave her another chance. Fucking hell. What a bitch. I cheated on you, and you had a reasonable reaction, so I'm going to kill myself unless you give me another chance. Yeah, that's going to work. See how that comes out. Fucking hell. I hope this email doesn't end with her death, because then I'll feel bad. Who am I kidding? I probably won't. All right, she said she wouldn't go to hospital until I gave her another chance. So I tried my hardest to make it work. All right, so you gave her another chance. Yeah, well, it's like, fuck. If someone says they're going to kill yourself, I don't know what I would do in that situation. Fucking, I don't know if I could go back. If someone said I'm going to kill myself, fuck, I don't know. Because on one hand, it's like, obviously, you can't threaten me with suicide, because that's not conducive to a good relationship. But I also don't want to have your death on my conscience. So, unless I gave another chance. So I had to. I tried my hardest to make it work for 3 weeks. Then I was at a mate's party. I met a girl at this party. She was nice. I had a great talk with her about my failing relationship and eventually got a cab home together. I know, right? My boy about to get wet. I walk her to her door, and as we get there, I get a call. Oh, yeah, you are fucking dyslexic. All right, so you meet this other girl, and you're about to cheat on your girlfriend with her to make it even Stevens. Yeah, that's a smart move. Take me back or I'll kill myself. Alrighty, I will, but I'm going to cheat on you. Fucking hell. All right, so I walk her to her door, and as we get there, I get a call. Grammar is so important. I tell her to wait for 1 second and I answer the call. It's my ex telling me she cheated again. Oh, shit. So I told her to go fuck herself and then I went in and fucked this girl. But for some reason I feel bad. Sorry for going on forever. I tried cutting it down at the end. Love your shit. Keep it up. From Michael. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Dude, you've done nothing wrong. You're perfect. You handled this perfectly. That's amazing. Of course she was going to cheat on you again because you enabled her terrible behavior, right? She cheated on you. You did the right thing. You dumped her. And then she did the psycho thing. And then you let that work. And then she was like, oh, fuck, I guess I can just be insane and he'll stay with me. So she cheated on you again. And then you learnt your lesson and you're like, yeah, go fuck yourself. And then you had sex with another girl. Yeah, dude, you shouldn't feel bad at all. I suppose the only reason you feel bad is because, dude, you dated her for 2 weeks. That's not a girlfriend. That's just some chick that you've been dating for 2 weeks. I don't know what to tell you, man. You've done the right thing. You just said for some reason I feel bad. That feeling will pass, dude. You just gotta go out there and live your life. Ghost her, right? Don't talk. Oh, this girl is obviously insane. Don't fucking talk to her. Just block her number. Delete her off all your social media. Just ghost her. Exit her life like you're... I'm not going to say that. Just get out of her life, all right? I'm going to say it. Exit her life like a stripper's father would. Yeah, just drop it, mate. Don't even... Just get out of her life. You don't need that. She's obviously mentally unstable and you can't trust her. If they cheat on you in 2 weeks, you should be happy that happened because it's better than them cheating on you fucking 3 years in and then you being like, oh my God, now I can't trust women at all, right? Now you know you just made a mistake, you picked a bad one. Just I don't know, you've talked to this other girl, maybe hang out with her a little bit, or maybe just get rid of her as well and focus on yourself as a human being. You're fucking 18 years old. You probably don't even know who you are yet. Why don't you work on yourself, and a girl will come along, right? I was never looking for a relationship, and then I found one. I was actively avoiding relationships, working on myself as a person, and then one just came along, and I was like, oh, this makes me happy. I'm going to do this. You don't need one. All right. Oh, we don't really have time for another one. Nah, we don't have time for another one. Sorry, guys. Miscellaneous bit at the end is over. Thankfully, right? Put down the noose. Right? Put down the knife. Get off the bridge. It's over. We can all rejoice. We made it through another fucking awful part of the podcast. Thank you for listening, guys. Thank you for my putting up with my yelling and rambling. I don't know. I'm waiting. You know what it is? I'm paranoid. I'm waiting for the catastrophe to happen. Tune in next week and I'll tell you what abject failure has struck me, and we can all laugh at it together, all right? So my tour is on sale, loosebeers.com/gigs. Please book now. Every show is going to sell out except for Ballarat and Hobart. So if you're from Ballarat and Hobart, please fucking book tickets. You're freaking me out. I think I'm going to get there and perform to 30 people. I don't give a fuck. One of my favorite show of my career was in Brisbane, and I did it to 30 people. So I'm fucking happy. And you know what? Looks like Brisbane's going to sell out for the first time as well, right? Third go. I'm pretty happy. All right. So that's all I got to tell you, cunts. Thanks for listening, and have a shit one.